Hello and welcome to the Saturday wrap for Saturday the 11th of September 2021, 9/11 day. Time currently 8:43 British Summer Time. I'm in the John Wallace Linton in Newport and the sun's out. Who knew? Scratch his nose. Not quite. So let's start with the word or phrase of the week, and it ties in with what I've just said. The word or phrase of the week is autumnal weather. We had probably the hottest day for quite some time. It was 28 in Ponty on, was it Tuesday or Wednesday? The nights have been really warm. It was 17 overnight in sunny Lower Rumney Valley. It has rained, it has blown a little bit of a gale, although not for long. It's all sorts of weathers. It's the autumn, or if you're in the USA, it's the fall, and I like it. Nothing lasts for too long. You get a great variety, and it is September. A very political and a month that is a watershed. There you go. Anyway, so as I said, this is a Saturday wrap, a wrap up of all the nonsense in my life for the last week. And the app of the week is Pocket Casts. Ooh, no, not me. Anyway, Pocket Casts, cross-platform podcast app that does video as well, and if you got in early enough you'll have the web-based version, which is pay once get it for life, which is really handy. I have it on iOS, I have it on Android, I have it on the web. It's not my primary app, but it's great for just firing up something and downloading a podcast or streaming a podcast and getting the video as well. It's a winner, and it needs a bit of love because it hasn't been treated very well, but it is supported. So, this time last week, Bears Head in Penarth, and that brings me on to Penarth full stop. That was a rather nice day as well. I ended up in Crafty Devil's Penarth cellar. Now I normally get like a 2/3 or a half or a can or something, but I pointed at the beer and they said, "Oh, pint," and I said yes, and they said £6.35. Wow, £6.35. I know it's craft beer and I know times are hard and all that, but £6.35 in Penarth. However, it was really nice. You win some, you lose some. There you go. Sunday, I think I mowed the lawn and I planted some more spring onions in pots and brought them in, and I've watered them every day, and so far nothing yet, which is a bit worrying, because they tend to go well when it's warm and when they're damp and all that sort of stuff, but we shall see. I love my spring onions. But recently, the last year or so, things haven't been going as well as I would have hoped. I just hope these go. The Elomy, ELOMY, which is supposed to grow all year round, so we shall see on that one. And as I've said, the early week was an Indian summer, which we're not allowed to say Indian anymore, so it was a Delta summer, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't too hot. It was hot, but not too hot, and that's one of the reasons I do like September. In fact, I went through a period of time just popping down to Mallorca for the end of September, early October, and that was pleasant too. Really nice. So here's the thing. Mr. Drakeford, well, he wasn't on the TV, because all was on the TV yesterday was the tennis and a bit of wee cranky from Scotland and such like, but I think he was prepping us. Figures in Wales are going up. continuously. Although you have to be careful, a lot of those figures are kids going back to school or going to university, and while they might be a case, they're not a serious case. Hospital figures are relatively steady, but his I don't know, call them guesses, but the plans from Swansea University say it will go up and it'll peak towards the end of the month. I just have a feeling they'll do something like, perhaps we could close pubs or non-essential shops. They won't call it a lockdown, they won't call it a fire break, but I think October's going to be a tricky month for us, especially here in Wales. He was vague. In fact, talking of vague, heard nothing from vague since he's gone over to business and stuff, especially since he now runs the railways. Anyway, talking of government, an extra 1.25% on national insurance. I think it's from the start of the next financial year, which for me means I'll be about 20 quid a month down. And announced the day after, I think it was 20 senior managers for the health service on over £200,000 a year. What are you doing with our money? Why do we need these new managers? It was a good article this week on Wales Online. I know, Wales Online. About the Grange in Cwmbran, and the queues and the waiting, and why you couldn't go to your nearest hospital. Senior managers in the health service, he says. Anyway, I should have been in Cardiff today. I booked to go to Bubs. I was hoping 12 till 4, but they came back and said, busy, we can only offer you 2 hours. So I went back and said, 12 till 2, and then later on in the day I had another email saying, due to staff shortages, we'll be closed all weekend, which is rather sad. I do like Bubs. They're a great place, they've got great staff. I just wonder if they've been pinged. I hope not. But I would like to be there. However, I'm in Newport, it's going to be Tiny Rebel, I like there as well. Anyway, tech. Next Tuesday, 1800 hours, British summertime, California streaming. The IT Theatre, that is the Apple September iPhone event. I'm looking closely at this because I need a new iPhone. Battery's beginning to go, and I know you could say, get a new battery, but I'm upgrading because technology. And maybe have a look at an iPad mini maybe, or an M1X or an M2 MacBook Air. Although they do say there's going to be more than one announcement this autumn. We shall see. Anyway, got the Wednesday booked off to cogitate on what was announced. I'm hoping to go to Cardiff and start using my Costa Coffee points before the end of the month by buying lots of bacon rolls and possibly Bubs, and planning my purchases. I was talking to a colleague in work this week about another colleague. Long story short, count your blessings. I haven't got much to worry about. I have Hazy Jane, which is in stock here. I don't know what's happening with Caerphilly, but everywhere I go it is in stock apart from Caerphilly. But yeah, there are a lot of people worse off with than you and me. So perhaps we should try to be a little bit more forgiving and kind and such like. Anyway, life isn't bad. Could be a lot worse. I was talking about podcasting earlier on. I don't know if you've heard of Guy Kawasaki. He used to be an evangelist for Apple. He does a podcast called Remarkable People. He had Adam Curry on this week. If you don't know Adam Curry, ex-MTV VJ, the Podfather, hugely influential in podcasting, and now podcasting 2.0. Well worth a listen if you like that sort of thing. And also his enthusiasm, his happiness and his joy in the technology. Really good podcast, really good interview. And if you want to know about podcasts, Remarkable People with Guy Kawasaki. Google is your friend on this one, or maybe even DuckDuckGo. I actually got cash out of the hole in the wall this week. I haven't done that for absolutely ages. And there are 3 things for which I need cash. Staff leaving collections. Bye bye, Kath. Chip shops. Every chip shop I go doesn't do contactless. And Polish shops in Hereford, where you want paprika crisps and they don't do cashless either. Other than that, the cash just hangs around for ages and ages and ages. And I struggle to remember my PIN. Like today, the bus, the pubs, everything bar the chip shop, contactless. That's a change. Oh yes, and COVID. 3rd floor in our office, closed. COVID, 1 day, deep clean. It's all around you. You can't get rid of it. You're just going to have to live with it. Which is, I don't want to say a shame, because it's not. It's the way it is now. And lastly, oh yeah, I've already mentioned that, Mr. Drakeford. The Cabinet in Wales will be making a decision next week. Here in Wales, we will see what they're doing in England and Scotland and do something differently. Because here in Wales. Anyway, back to the beer. I'm going to upload this from the Pen and Wig, which has fibre to the cabinet, and I wish you all a very pleasant weekend if you are watching this on the weekend. Bye bye.